सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय, महायोगी स्वामी उमानंद सरस्वती की जय. I have a very interesting topic today. I can't believe that during the palanquin palki going from Alandi, Pune to Pandharpur, when the entire atmosphere is electrified with the word Dnyanadev, that I should receive such a sweet message that Dnyanadev had originally designed the game Snake and Ladder. And it was designed under the name of MOKSHA PATAN. Moksha is salvation and Patan is downfall. I received it in the form of a mail on WhatsApp, and of course I received it from Vijay Shetty, one of the ashram members, and he must have received from someone. Well, I would love to go to the roots of it, the works, and find out where this particular reference is there in Dnyanadev's life. But I can definitely accept it because his way of playing games was always different. He would play with his brothers and sisters by asking them riddles and questions, and all those riddles were regarding Brahma and Maya and concepts like that. Next time I will give you some of the riddles which were posed by Sant Dnyanadev and answered by Sopan, Muktai and Nivrutti, his brothers. And I had composed it in the form of songs too. Well, let's see. But today I would love to take all of you all to this game of Snake and Ladder. Friends, we all know this game. However, I'd like to tell a little about for people, those who are not familiar with it. There is a board there which has about 100 houses in the form of checks, and they're drawn, and the houses are numbered from 1 to 100. And in some of the houses, and you are supposed to play a dice which has about 6 different numbers, 1 on one side, 2 on the other, and thing. And when you play the dice and number say comes 3, then you move 3 houses, and when it comes 6, you move 6 houses. It's a normal game. And some of the houses have got certain ladders. When you go to that house, you are supposed to climb, suddenly shoot up to a couple of, you can skip a few houses and go to a higher level. And of course, in some of the houses there are snakes, hoods, and if you fall in that house, you are supposed to be swallowed and come right down the ladder, right down the houses till the tail end of the snake. It's an interesting game. We used to also play snake and ladders as kids, and but for me it was stunning that I realized that it was designed by Sant Dnyanadev under the title Moksha Patan, salvation, and Patan is downfall. Very appropriate that it had to be somebody like Dnyanadev to design it in such a way. Well, friends, I would love to tell you the interesting aspects of this game, Moksha Patan. How this particular game has got positive traits and negative traits. The negative traits are considered as the snakes, which are going to swallow and bring you down or take you away from moksha. And the positive traits are the ladders, which are going to help you to climb towards it. So first, let's see the positive traits, which are going to take us towards the salvation. The 12th house has a ladder of faith. Faith is in the form of a ladder which will take you towards moksha. Yes, without faith, the journey doesn't start anywhere. Right from the time you have to meet the concept of the final destination, God, you have to start with faith that there is God. And then with the Guru who leads you to God, you have to have faith in Guru. Then he gives you a mantra. You have to have faith in mantra, which is going to be given to you by Guru and which is going to help you to go to God. And you have to believe in all three. Otherwise, the journey just doesn't start. However, it's a 12th house. So you have to have at least 12 points to go into this house and climb the ladder of faith. And this is, then there is another positive trait, which is reliability. Probably somebody has translated it from the original Marathi into English. So I wonder if reliability might be the word. But let's take that because that has come to me on WhatsApp. So you had to, who do I rely upon? I think I rely upon Guru. Well, you find out who you rely upon. But if this game has to be played, it has to be some factor that you rely upon, someone you rely upon who can lead you to this journey. So the mediator has to be there and you have to rely upon it. It's not a, it cannot be a self-made journey. Let's see. But I would like to rely, yes, and I do rely upon my Guru for this journey. Then you have the 57th, which is generosity. Yes, one needs to have that quality in us. It's a positive trait, and in some subtle ways, you offer what you have, and the world gives you what you don't have. I think it's a beautiful combination. So I think that's a nice deal. You give what you have, and the world will give you what you don't have. And let's not worry whom it comes through. But it's a beautiful transaction, and the world world is designed so. As a matter of fact, the world is designed to serve every individual. Every individual has God's element in them. And world is designed that the world serves the individual, every individual. Therefore, you'll see a person even in a hut at night, if he wants alcohol, he gets it. Because he asks for it. God doesn't stop it, whether he has to beat his wife or he has to go out, steal, whatever it is, but he wants it, so he gets it. A terrorist wants to kill somebody. Oh, well, if he desires for it, he gets his chance, I suppose. It's very sad. But he gets it. But then, of course, he has to pay the price for it. He might lose his near and dear ones. He might lose honor in the society. He might lose... I mean, if he cannot be respected on earth, how can he be respected in heaven? Well, let's not get into that. But the world is designed to serve every individual for what they want. It's just that they need to take responsibility of it and pay the price for it. So this is reliability. I think I want to rely upon my Guru. And I want to make my journey with my dependency on my Guru, because it's a journey, and I know, and I don't know when time comes, whenever it is required, it just stands by you. I will just give you an example. Yesterday, just a couple of, there was a small accident in the ashram, in my ashram, and a huge frame of my Guru, with a lineage of it, Nityanand, Muktanand, and Gurudev, Umanand, Saraswati. It just slipped and fell. And obviously, I felt it was an unholy, unauspicious happening. So I got pretty nervous. I said, have I gone wrong somewhere? Have I done something very drastically wrong that my the most respected frame had to fall? And I was shaken up. And I decided to say a short prayer and genuine prayer and ask for forgiveness and all. And then suddenly I had a very sweet prompting within me. She said, "You foolish girl, because I knew the frame would fall, I shifted your chair, and just truly about 20 minutes prior to this incident, I had moved my chair away from that spot and I was facing it. First, it was right under it. So, if at all I hadn't shifted the chair, the frame would have fallen on my head, and it was a heavy 20 kg of frame, it was a wooden frame. So you can imagine, probably I wouldn't have been here talking to you today. So this reliability, I rely on my Guru at every step to take me soundly across this life and reach the moksha. Let's see. Then the 57th house is generosity. Yes, we need to be willing to share what we have. As I told you, you give what you have, and God will give you what He has, what you need. So first you share what you have with you, whether it's knowledge, whether it is plenty of money you have, you can pass on a little, or you have plenty of saris, you pass on a few, you have plenty of dresses, pass on a few toys if you have, share a few, food if you have extra, pass it on. This is the best way we can serve God. Share what you have, and of course He too will give you what you don't have then. Then you have 76th house talks about knowledge. Man is expected to pursue knowledge. By man I don't mean just man, a woman too, a person. A person is expected to continuously pursue the knowledge or pursue truth. It's a prime drive, and it needs to be just nourished by all of us. It's a prime drive. And then, of course, the 78th house talks about sannyas, that is asceticism. For asceticism, for a common man, I will just say minimize your indulgence. Just take what is sufficient more than storing or having more than required in your life. I mean, if say a couple of vessels are enough, let's not store thousands of vessels in the house. If couple of, or unless your ambition is to serve a bigger group of people. So let's be proportionate. If you are living all by yourself, then the house should not be loaded by too many things in the house. If you are sharing a house with 5-10 people, a joint family system, then if you have more things in the house, it's understandable. You have to try and live with it. Try and live at least for one day a week with little demands. Let's try somewhere. Okay, but then there are very interesting snake hoods. These are the ladders which will take you up the moksha. But there are snake hoods in some of the houses which will help you to just slide down. And these, some of them are, one word used is here, vulgarity. Let's use a better word for it, because I don't think Dnyanadev will use this word at all. So let's say we will say atrocious or ugly. We'll make it a little simpler. So let's not be ugly about certain things. When we speak about people, when we talk, we laugh, let every action be poised so you represent a decent human being. I mean, let's not fall from the standard of a human being. I mean, you have to rise yourself to godliness, but let's not go below human being qualities. So let's not be ugly about our presentations of words, speech, talk, behavior, thinking. That has to have its own dignity in it. I mean, there is probably nobody to stop us, as I told you. The world is designed to serve you. But make your choices good so that you are revered and respected by people. Well, then you have the 41st house speaks of disobedience. Now, you need to obey. Let's say, try and obey the inculcate these values in children. Let them learn to obey their teachers, their parents, the elders, something like that. We should try to teach them obedience. It's one of the ladders which is going to help them to rise to moksha. Then 52 is not to steal. Very sweet. I mean, Sant Dnyanadev must have used it to play with his friends. So, without hurting, he was teaching them. It's so right of a master to do it. And who could be the best master than Sant Dnyanadev in the world today? And 58 is lying, not to lie. So if you lie, you fall. Children normally tend to lie. For example, they want to go out to play and they will tell their parents that we are going out to study together. Oh, we used to do that as children. See, go to movies and say we are going to study together at friend's place. Well, all these little faults, but they are like snake hoods and they help you to come down the ladder, and you have to start the journey again. A journey towards salvation has to be started again. Then you have the 44th house talks about arrogance. Yes, children should be also taught not to be arrogant to elders. Some of the advertisements nowadays shown in the TV, now the child saying to his uncle, "Are you washing your hands or are you dirtying it?" is not required. This is pure arrogance. This is pure arrogance. Some of these ads for Dettol or what is shown us, they have to be careful about these things. They are teaching wrong things. Or a woman slapping her husband. I mean, is it required? Well, whatever it is, one should avoid this sort of because if there is a little age difference, I mean, we have to respect that. We have to learn to respect these certain values. Vice versa, I will say, even if the man slaps his wife, it has to be stopped. This is arrogance. Then you have another thing is daru, of course, alcohol. As I said, a person who wants to go to salvation has to leave this, because with this alcohol he can hardly reach a normal human standard. So with alcohol he cannot reach moksha. It is a silly concept that if you take drugs and you get drugged, you might start hallucinating into something divine. Now, a person who's drugged, if cannot guide himself, how can he guide others? So, when you relate yourself with divinity, you are supposed to guide others. That is 62 house, which is a snake hood. It's going to bring you to tail end. Now, tail ends, we don't know where they are going. But I'm going to try and see whether I can give a new chart, let's see, to the world. Then you have the 84th house is anger. Yes, anger is it is poisonous. It is bad. It is not only the hood, it's the poison itself in the snake. So if you get angry, you better beware, because it destroys us. It destroys us. It destroys almost so many things around us. It's equivalent to fire. It is equivalent to fire, which can burn things around you. Anger has to be avoided by the person who wants to pursue the ultimate salvation. Then you have greed. Having anything in plenty. Greed, I will say, having anything in plenty. So whether it is eating habits or we call it in Marathi, we say ati. Ati means excess. So anything in excess, if you are wanting to have, you can call yourself greedy. It's not a compliment, it's a fault. So don't call yourself that. And if you don't have to call yourself that, you have to avoid being that. Then you have the 95th, that is pride. Pride is another thing which is very close to 100 number. 100 is supposed to be moksha, salvation. So pride comes there. Yes, as the closer you are to enlightened state, the very idea that you are getting enlightened can make you proud. And if you are proud, then you start getting anger fits, you can become arrogant. You can, you are proud of certain things. You can end up, uh, using ugly words for others. So pride is something we have to be very careful. You can be thankful. Let's replace it with thankful to God for what you have, rather than being proud of what you have. So I think we can balance it out. Be thankful to the world if it has permitted you a greater status, like you have the leaders who are elected. So they should not be proud, they should be thankful. So the entire attitude changes to service attitude. Service attitude in human being is better than demanding attitude. It takes you far. Well, then you have the 73 house takes you to murder. It's a little grotesque. I don't think even Dnyanadev must have introduced this word. But yes, maybe because they were into exile and all, the family was thrown into exile by the society because they were children of a yogi, and maybe it must have hit him that hard. But I don't think he would have used the word murder in one of the houses also. But since I have received this on What's Mail, I will stick to it. 73 house talks about murder, 99th house talks about lust. It's just one house short to your moksha. Lust, my God, it's a strong passion, a strong drive, and you're close to it. Now we can have one example in the mythologies of Vishwamitra, and he falls for Menaka, and he's just all about there to reach, and then off the moksha flies off. So friends, it's a very beautiful game, and I think we should try playing this game. I'll try and design one nice one for ourselves, and we can use dice and really know whether we are victims of disobedience, debts, theft, lying, drinks, arrogance, anger, greed, pride, murder, lust, or we are using faith, reliability, generosity, knowledge, and asceticism. Friends, I like this as a game, and since it was said that it was designed by Dnyanadev as MOKSHA PATAN, I would like to trace the roots of this and find out in where exactly it is mentioned. But Dnyanadev had his ways of creating games. One of the games was asking riddles, and this was played within his four brothers and sisters. They would ask each other riddles and pertaining to Brahma and Maya. And hats off to Dnyanadev. I humbly salute him, and if he at all has initiated this snake and ladder game, initiated earlier, then my highest regards to the philosopher Sant Dnyanadev. I stand in humble salutations to him, and this is Swami Radhikanand from Pune.